So we're gonna get rid of all this junk where he likes to keep things away from me. All right, so he likes toys, all that stuff. He always gets them. He always takes them to the ground, and then he wants to possess them. So even as I go to get the toy, you can see he even his tail goes down. He's like, that's mine. So we're gonna change it up a little bit. We're playing. I'm going to lift him up, makes him pull even more, and I'm gonna immediately move away. Same thing again. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna tug, and I'm going to lift him up, and I'm immediately going to get away. I'm just programming him that the second I let go, immediately come towards me. So I'm using just natural, normal responses to movement. Tugging, get away. Oh, yeah, good boy. So it'll just happen over and over again, as some of you have seen with all my other dogs, where they get objects and they immediately start pushing into me. I'll bring it to my hand and push into my hand. We're just programming the dog. Now he's rapping on me, all this stuff. Out, break, yeah, grab it, and now just keep moving into me. He starts to pull or puts the brakes on. I let go, and we move. So anytime his brain goes into stay away from me or stop, I'm just rewriting. Bring it to me. Good job. Oh, that's a good boy. Now we can even amplify this by up, having him bring it to me and jump up. So you've seen me do that before too. If not, there's search through the videos. But to me, up. There we go. Climb up me. So now let's get the object, bring it to me, and not only bring it to me, when you bring it to me, keep it everything up. Up. That's a good boy. Yeah. Out. Fetch. Immediately moving away. Yeah. Whoa. Out. Fetch. Up. Hit the box. Come on. Move away. Up to me. So it'll just become a habit for him. He won't think about possessing any items from me ever again, as long as I do this. Now, if I go back and practice standing here, if I go back to practicing this, and I go back to practice reaching for everything, every time I reach for it, he's going to practice holding it and keeping it away from me. So I get him to pick it up, come on, and bring it to me. Out. Fetch. Yeah. Whoa. Up. Yeah. Good job. So that's how we change behavior. Whoa. All right, we're going to give a breakdown of the video. So this is Rapha. He's 4 months old. I think he's like 18 weeks old, something like that if you want to get technical with the weeks. So in this video, I'm showing you a lot of things, and I'll just go through and give very, very detailed about a lot of things. The only thing I can't give detail on is exactly when I'm pressing the button, how long I'm pressing the button, and what level I'm pressing the button on. All right, so the reason why that is because I'm relaying a lot of information through the collar to the dog, so the dog can understand what it is that I'm asking for. So there's parts where I'm getting him to bite, there's parts where I'm getting him to pick up objects, there's parts where I'm getting him to push into me, there's parts where I'm getting him to jump up on me. There's so many things happening all at the same time. He's hitting targets, he's jumping over boxes, coming to me, that I can't just break down a set formula to doing this stuff. It's because it's an active conversation. Which brings me to the next part. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a puppy, all right? This is a young puppy, and we're doing electronic collar, remote collar training on, all right? And I'm demonstrating that he has very, very strong, like, toy drive, whatever you want to call it, prey drive, toy drive, all the drives that people call it. I just call it he likes his toy. We keep it very simple. Now you notice that when he has his toy, he takes his paw and he puts it on there. These subtle little cues are very informative, all right? The same thing you also notice is that whenever he's in possession of the toy around me, in certain situations, you'll notice his tail goes down. Now his tail doesn't go between his legs, but his tail goes down, all right? And you're seeing like his body posture like tense up and like hunker over top of it, especially when I go to reach for it. So that's what I call, or what people will call, a level of possession. The dog is wanting to possess the toy, which means the dog does not want me to have the toy. the dog doesn't want to bring me the toy. The dog has no problem grabbing the toy, going after the toy. He's excited going after the toy when I throw the toy. And when the toy is active, the tail goes up and a lot of speed, a lot of animation. That's the pursuit, which is totally different than when the dog has the toy. When the dog has the toy, it changes. So again, we're just recapping. If you need to, go back and watch the video. You will see that anytime I reach for the toy, the dog's body position, posture, everything becomes very tense, becomes very, very like stiff, and even like comes like hunkering down over top of it. If I have the object in my hand where he can't lower his head because we're like playing tug of war or whatever it is, you'll notice his tail still goes down. So anytime I'm touching it, it's like he's still demonstrating and showing that his desire to possess the object is still there. So what would be normally different, like with a dog that's not possessive, is like the tail set would just be up and wagging, like super happy wagging, like very playful, stuff like that. So anyways, what I want you to notice is that in this video, I'm showing you how easy it is with our system to get the dog to respond in very specific ways using their genetic disposition or their nature or their natural responses to things. So what I mean by that is I'm showing you when I do this, the dog does this. But when I do this, the dog does this, complete opposite. So I'm showing you an immediate fix and an immediate solution to something that I don't want. Now, the thing that has to take place is time. So this is where people say consistency. I hate saying that because everyone's like, just be consistent. I don't like that because I see a lot of people consistent with the wrong formula. So what that means is they can be consistent all day, every day, but if they have the wrong formula, things are just going to get worse. So it's not just about consistency. It's about being consistent with the correct formula. And I understand that some people get that, but a lot of people don't. They're just convinced and sold that as long as they keep trying, it'll get better. But it actually gets worse a lot because what people are taught and told to try ends up causing more problems. All right, so now we talk about we're not going to change the behavior by punishing the dog. We are going to change the behavior by correcting the dog. And what I mean by that is correction is to offer a replacement. So what that means is I'm not going to deliver anything to the dog that tells the dog that they're a bad dog or they did wrong. I'm very simply using our system, which is about showing the dog what it is that we want from them, but whatever they do, the things we don't want from them. To amplify that, I'm going to engage with the dog in a way that provokes his natural behavior to come out. And I hate to call it bad behavior because it's not bad behavior. It's just the way he's wired. So there's nothing bad about it. It's just something I don't like. So we tend to call it bad behavior, but it's not. So in this case, I'm grabbing the toy and I'm pulling on the toy. Now, when I go grab the toy and I pull on the toy, you can see the dog does what most dogs do. They start pulling and they start trying to pull the toy away from you. That's why I think most people call it tug of war. But you'll see the same behavior in bite work and retrieving, all this stuff. That's why I tell people I teach bite work out of retrieving drills. I'm eliminating possessive behavior by doing drills that teach the dog to pick an item up and bring it to me. These are also the same fundamentals that I use to teach the dog to bite and move into me. So it's all together. I'm teaching every bit of it at the same exact time. That's why I'm able to teach the dogs to do super advanced things at very young ages, because we're just being very efficient and very effective. So now what happens is I'm provoking the behavior by pulling on the tug. And when I pull on the tug, it causes the dog to go into its natural state of mind, which is to pull and possess. The second I trigger that behavior, the dog doesn't have a choice but to pull and possess. As long as I'm holding on to the toy, the dog can practice pulling and possessing. So what I'm doing is I'm causing the behavior to happen, and then I'm taking the dog's ability to possess away. At the same time I'm taking the dog's ability to possess away, I am relaying information to the dog that naturally gets the dog to respond the way I want them to respond to create the behaviors that I want in the future. And then I'm just adding a bunch of stuff inside there. So even though in the beginning you can see that when I go to reach for the dog and the toy, you can see the possessive behavior. And then you can see me start doing things that get rid of the possessive behavior and offer a totally different behavior, which is like, instead of the dog grabbing it and hiding it from me, the dog's now bringing it to me, bringing it to my hand, and bringing it to me and jumping on me. I can immediately show you how quick I can bring the other behavior right back out. Okay, well, the reason how I'm able to bring the other behavior right back out is because, again, that's still the dog's natural response, which means that we have not done enough of this to rewrite the processing inside of his head. So the more I do this, like I stated in the video, and the less I do the other, the more the dog will forget about possessing altogether, and will start just understanding his entire job is to get objects and bring them straight to me. We'll do it for such a long period of time with successful repetitions through the system. That's how we're able to do that, like immediate results, that the dog will forget about ever being possessive, and it will just rewrite everything. So I know it's a lot to process because people don't see me marking behaviors. They don't see me punishing behaviors. They can't tell when I'm using the collar. So it's very confusing for a lot of people. And again, these videos are not to teach people step by step how to do our system. That's what our school's for. That's what our online course is coming. I swear to you guys, they're coming. Everyone's like, there's so many people who are like, they're not coming. I'm not an IT guy. I do what I can. I wear a lot of hats. But anyways, not to get on that. But that's what those things are for. So even though you don't know our system, if you practice a lot of the things that I'm showing you, however you train dogs, you will start to get some results. You won't get the full effect or the full benefit, but you'll still get some stuff. So anyways, hope it helps. We'll see you guys next video. Questions below. Again, I'll do the best I can, but if it's about how I'm using the collar, all I can tell you is I use the collar to relay a lot of information. I do not use the collar to punish a dog. I do not use the collar to stop behavior. I use a collar to relay information to help the dog understand what behavior I want. So hope that helps. See you guys next video.